Justin Raymond Obie. Jay Boops. Jay Swizzle. I've known you for a long time, my friend. As Carly and Stephen mentioned earlier, it's been about 15 years. Writing this speech wasn't as easy as I expected, condensing 15 years into 5 to 10 minutes of teasing and storytelling that might give everyone here even a glimpse of what you mean to me was not an easy task. But if you've all got the moment, I'd like to try. So let's begin with a history of Justin Obie. I've broken it down into 4 different stages. His evolution. Stage 1, the blue swoop. Stage 2, the metalhead. Stage 3, the Beebs. And stage 4, the mustachioed Raggedy Ann. So, stage 1, the blue swoop. When I first met Justin, he was 8 years old, about 3 feet shorter than he is now, and his hair was short around the ears and flat on top until the front. At the front, it suddenly swooped up into a line of spikes that were held in place and colored with cobalt blue hair gel. Even at that young age, some of his best-known traits had already begun to show. He was outdoorsy, he loved mountain biking and camping, and building ramps out of a log and a board so that he could take photos of his sick airtime for Facebook. We first met at Hope for Life Christian Fellowship. We were the same age, so it seemed obvious to me that we were already friends the moment I said hi. Following that assumption, I immediately started asking him every Sunday if he wanted to hang out after church. He would go ask his parents and typically come back with a disappointing answer. I might occasionally ask him over to my house, but his house was way closer to the church, so I would usually just ask myself over to his house. All for the sake of practicality, of course. But I never was too aware at that age of how what was best for me wasn't necessarily the most convenient for those around me. One of the many ways I had lacked social tact in my youth. This lack of tact might have impacted Justin's first impression of me. In his last year that he and I have been roommates, I actually learned that he never did ask his parents if we could hang out. He would just walk around aimlessly for about 10 minutes and then come back to tell me that his mom had said no. But the constant proximity did push us together eventually. It wasn't long before we were making up games with garden hoses and trampolines, and playing hide-and-go-seek in the dark with the other kids from church.
I love that.
Those years really set the stage for the years to come. Stage 2, the metalhead. The next stage was junior high, which for all of us was the awkward phase. But for Justin, the stereotypical tween-age, early pubescent shift manifested itself in the form of a sudden and bewildering, full-bodied interest in heavy metal music. It seemed like one minute he was blue swooping his way down mountain bike trails, and the next his hair had reached his shoulders, and he wore a Metallica shirt for his uniform. His first guitar was a shimmering, steely blue device with spikes jutting from every angle. A display that was sure to impress the ladies. But his look and his music taste aside, This was the age that he and I both started attending Young Life. And we started to spend a lot more time together. Oh, yeah, I love it. How can you hear me now?
We tried.
Thank you, Carly. Just find my place here, guys. Sorry. Carly. I'm kidding. This was the age that he and I both started attending Young Life. And we started spending a lot more time together. We rode around the neighborhood on our two-wheeled, pivoting, wiggity-whack boards. And we would play board games and video games for hours on end. And he taught me to be a bit more adventurous. So adventurous, in fact, that I sustained my first injury because of him. In a crazy speedboat-pulled banana boat crash, I smacked my head into the back of his helmet and bit a hole through my own face. But he also took me skiing and snowshoeing and camping with his family for the first time. It was a good time. Although we were both going through our own unique awkward phases, we were always able to have fun together, we always knew how to crack each other up, and our combined laughter could easily rattle an entire household. Stage 3, the Beebs. Oh, real switch? Real switch. Yeah, Carly! Woo! Yeah! In high school, Justin shed his metal attire for Hollister and Abercrombie. And his taste in music shifted from Metallica to Mumford & Sons. My influence, of course. His hair went from a hardcore headbanging mop to a refined, gentle sweep just in front of his eyes. And the hair flip became his trademark gesture. This was the year that the two of us went to Rockridge Canyon together on work crew. That was a pretty formative time for both of us. Approaching adulthood, we began to dig deeper into who we were as individuals. And as we discovered ourselves together, we grew a lot closer. That summer, we got to know each other on a deeper level and went from being guys who play a lot of Settlers of Catan together to really being best friends. We worked together, explored faith together, and built a lot of other friendships that have endured to this day. In the years of the Beebs, we went on multiple road trips to visit friends from camp. Inspired by the Boreal Sons, we nearly started our music career as the Deciduous Daughters. Yeah. And we continued to play a lot of Catan. Stage 4, the mustachioed Raggedy Ann. This last year, I have had the incredible privilege of having Justin Obie as my roommate. And I feel like most of you have witnessed firsthand the look I'm describing here, so I won't take too much time on that. But Justin, and I mean this sincerely, has a knack for pulling off an aesthetic that most of us would never dare to attempt. But even those who were naysayers at first had to admit that the handlebar mustache and perm, together supported by his unbreakable self-confidence, somehow worked for him. This last year, I've gotten to know Justin better than ever before. All of his tics and peeves, virtues and vices. So as is customary, Anita, I have a few bits of advice and a few warnings for dealing with having this guy as a roommate. One thing you may have already noticed is that Justin is very productive and always aware of what else needs to be done. This can be a good thing, but his drive for productivity can at times show up in some peculiar ways. For example, it was shockingly common for me to come home to find Justin twisted around in a bizarre array, with his legs, one leg twisted in front of his body, his back leg sticking out behind, and his torso contorted in front of him so that he could do yoga while leaning over his study notes and composing emails for work all at the same time. It's very rare to ever find him doing less than at least 2 tasks at once. But Anita, when he gets into this state, it can be hard to get his full attention sometimes. but I hope you'll be able to remind him once in a while to stop what he's doing and find satisfaction in the moment that he's in. He's also very loud. When he gets excited, he loses all volume control. And I should state that this is something the two of us have in common. But Justin is a very passionate man. And when he is truly present in the moment, he brings into that moment everything he has. He thoroughly enjoys every bite of every meal. He laughs so hard that the people around him become concerned for his safety. And when conversations get heavy, he listens so intently and with eye contact that makes you know just how deeply he cares and that he wants nothing but the best for you. We had a lot of those moments this last year, and in a lot of ways this has been one of the hardest years for me. And having Justin there with your open heart and your patient understanding to come home to every night has meant more to me than I can possibly put into words. So, Anita, that's some of what you should look out for and some of what you have to look forward to. This year has been amazing. We've gone from being best friends to, I believe, being brothers. And I am so thankful for the ways that this time has strengthened our relationship and for what it will be in the years to come. But I'm so excited for you two. I'm so thankful to have both of you in my life, and I can't wait to see what life has in store for the two of you together. So, with that, I'd like to raise a toast to Justin and Anita.